Today we are talking about STX, the long-awaited update. I'm sorry that it is so late, but here we are. So I'm gonna say this up front, I made a few changes in the counting of the structure. So I've looked into the whole structure again and I'm counting the wave 1 cycle here now and not there anymore. I think it is much more likely that we have the ABC zigzag here into our overshooting B wave instead of a running flat for our 4 in blue speaking. So this has changed a little bit in the price levels and the Fibonacci levels of our second wave zone here. I'm gonna show you the zone before. It was like this and it is now like this. So there have been a few percent changes in the price levels here, but not a lot. So yeah, let's get into it. We have a pretty complex correction here. It could be over. It is probably not over yet. There are a lot of possibilities on how to count this, but I think this is the most likely that we have a triple zigzag here. You have to say though that a triple zigzag counting has some risks involved with it because triple zigzags are much more rare in the markets than double zigzags, for example, but they are absolutely valid and they can happen. And I think this is the most likely counting that we have right here. So in the last video we were somewhere around this area here, so we had this low and we were somewhere up here. I counted this as a wave 1 impulse because you could count this as a 5-wave impulse here. And yeah, as you can see, we made a new low from the start of this, what I thought would be a 1. So this resetted our chart structure here and the wave 1 count got invalidated like this. But we probably have an A wave here. Looks very impulsively, and an X wave instead of the 1. It does not look perfect, but you can count it as 3 waves here. But yeah, so we probably have this A wave now for our last major low. But the imminent structure, what we did from there, this upwards movement is much more corrective nature than impulsive nature. I mean, with a lot of fantasy, you can count this as a 1-2 and another 1-2. But the first 1-2 structure does look very 3-wave structure wise. So I think this is an A and we came down in a B. A lot of overlapping here. Characteristic for a B wave and another 5-wave structure for our C. There is also the possibility that we are not done with this B. We could be done. We could also be in a triangle right here for our B wave. This could look something like this. Then we would have our 1, 2, 3, 4, and we would come up in a 5 from there. This would mean we should end our B somewhere in this zone here. 1 second. Something between $2.05 to $2.34. With a clear invalidation at $2.34. If this price level falls, then we are definitely not in this triangle anymore. And yeah, there's also the possibility that the B wave will develop a little bit longer. This could be an overshooting B wave in the making here. This would mean we could come somewhere in this area of $2.50 to $2.34 and continue our C wave from there. But it could also be done as I'm counting it now, and we could be in our first 1-2 setup here, coming down in a 3, a 4 and another 5 to make a probably new low under this A wave. This would mean we could also expand a little further than the 78.6% Fibonacci level. We could come down to the 88.7% Fibonacci level. This would be at around $0.56. but if this level falls, then the probability heightens a lot that we see new major lows. I mean, it is totally possible. We have seen this a lot, that coins or stocks even corrected to 90% to even 99%. But yeah, if the 88.7% price level falls, this would mean that we could see new cycle lows. But I think the probability of this is pretty low, looking at the whole chart structure that we have in front of us. Speaking of the goals now, of this third wave that we have here, if we are already done, I think we will see, as I said, a new low, but we could also be done, then we should have our first price goal at about $6.22 and our second price goal for the expansion of the third wave at about $9.41. This would still be a price change from current levels of about 241% to about 419%. This wave will develop a little bit longer though. Obviously, this will take a few months, probably maybe to a year, until we finish this third wave. But yeah, still very high potential. I would wait a little bit for now, stay patient and not take any positions in this market, because the chart structure does look much more bearish right now. So I would wait for validation to the downside to maybe enter somewhere under this A after we've finished our C wave here. I would wait for a good impulse to the upwards to validate that we really are already in the third wave, and take the next zone from there. So either way, I will make a video on stacks when something changes, when I have a clear validation for one of the scenarios. And yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, just ask me and tell me what you want to see in the next video. So yeah, have a nice day till then. See ya.